National TV. My name is Christiana Babayo. Before we begin, here are the headlines. Edo State unveils ambitious plan for indigenous airline to drive regional commerce. State government hails academic milestone at Oredo Girls School unveiling. Edo government says it owes allegiance only to residents, not contractors. New mandates set to crush waste mismanagement in Benin City. Police launch rescue operation after wife of Igarra youth leader kidnapped. Igarra community imposes night curfew as kidnapping fear grows. And now the news in full. The Edo State government has stepped up efforts to establish an indigenous airline aimed at strengthening the state's economy, improving regional connectivity, and positioning Benin Airport as a key aviation hub. The move follows strategic talks between Governor Monday Okpebholo and Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Keyamo in Abuja. Governor Okpebholo held a high-level delegation to the ministry on January 23, 2026, emphasizing aviation as a critical economic pillar necessary to attract investment, expand commerce, and create jobs across Edo State. The governor highlighted that a state-owned carrier would enhance transportation options for residents and investors and help integrate the state more fully into Nigeria's broader economic network. During the meeting, both Okpebholo and Keyamo agreed on the potential of Benin Airport, recalling its historical significance as a major hub during the peak years of the now-defunct Okada Air. Keyamo said renewed investor interest in the airport's commercial prospects has emerged, and that efforts by the state government, if sustained, could help the facility regain prominence in national aviation. The governor revealed preliminary discussions are underway with foreign partners, including South African investors, to secure aircraft and technical support for the airline's launch. Keyamo also announced the formation of a technical committee to work with Edo's nominated focal person and the Directorate of Air Transport Management to coordinate the project's regulatory and operational planning. Governor Monday Okpebholo of Edo State has inaugurated the reconstructed Oredo Girls Secondary School, marking a key achievement in the state's drive to improve the quality of infrastructure of its public education system. The unveiling ceremony held in Benin City on January 20th drew enthusiastic responses from school authorities, teachers, and students. At the event, Governor Monday Okpebholo highlighted the visible improvements in staffing and learning environments, noting that the presence of more than 20 teachers compared with just a handful previously underscored real progress in the education sector. The governor also pledged continued attention to outstanding challenges, including reliable electricity supply and other facility upgrades to ensure a fully conducive learning atmosphere for students. The Edo State Commissioner for Education described the project as an example of practical governance in action, emphasizing that restoring public schools is central to the administration's broader agenda of every child accessing education in a safe, conducive environment. Parents and students at the school expressed appreciation for the improvements and optimism about future prospects. Governor Monday Okpebholo has reaffirmed that his administration's primary obligation is to Edo residents, not contractors, as he defended recent policies aimed at improving public services and accountability in the state. The statement follows criticism from some construction firms regarding contract enforcement and project delivery timelines. Okpebholo made the remarks during a press engagement in Benin City, where he responded to concerns about infrastructure projects and claims from certain local contractors that government demands were unrealistic. The governor said his office remains committed to ensuring that quality timelines and value for public funds guide project implementation, stressing that the government's duty is to serve residents' needs above all. The governor noted that while contractors are important partners in development, the lives and welfare of citizens take precedence in decision-making. He emphasized that performance standards and contractual obligations will be enforced strictly to ensure that public works deliver expected benefits to communities. We will now go on a short break, and when we come back, the news will continue. Stay tuned.
The Papyrus Global, we don't just cover events, we create cinematic experiences. From red carpets to birthdays, gala dinners, and your fairy tale weddings, we bring your moments to life with high-tech precision. Our gadgets are smarter, our lenses sharper, and our team simply world-class. Trust the Papyrus Global to tell your story in the boldest, brightest way possible.
Welcome back, and now the news will continue. The Edo State government has issued an ultimatum to residents, businesses, and government agencies to remove accumulated waste from Benin City streets and public spaces, warning that environmental health will be monitored more strictly and sanctions applied for offenders if compliance is not met. The directive was issued by the State Task Force on Environmental Sanitation following assessments that the city has experienced rising levels of unmanaged refuse, which local officials say contribute to blocked drainage channels, flood risk, and deteriorating urban hygiene. The task force announced clear compliance deadlines for neighborhood cleanups and proper disposal. Authorities stressed that the ultimatum applies to all sectors, including households, markets, and public institutions, that enforcement measures will be activated where necessary. These include fines, sanctions, and possible closure of premises that persistently violate sanitation regulations. The government said the cleanup drive is part of a wider effort to transform Benin City into a cleaner, healthier urban environment, improve public health outcomes, and curb environmental hazards that hinder quality of life across the capital. The Edo State Police Command has launched an active rescue operation following the abduction of the wife of a youth leader in Igarra, the headquarters of the Akoko Edo local government area. The victim, the wife of Ubani Okuwo, chairman of the youth group in the community, was reportedly kidnapped on Tuesday night, 20th January, while returning home from her shop. Nigeria police authorities have confirmed the case and said they are pursuing leads to secure her release. The Commissioner of Police, Monday Okpebholo, directed divisional police officers across the local government to collaborate and intensify efforts to locate the abducted woman. Police said they have received kidnapping reports from local residents and immediately activated coordinated patrols and search procedures to track down the perpetrators and rescue the victim. Community sources told journalists that the incident occurred late in the evening, with the abductors reportedly attacking in broad daylight and swiftly taking the victim into an unknown direction. The motive is believed to be ransom-driven, though authorities are yet to confirm demands or negotiations. Security officials said intelligence efforts are focused on known criminal hideouts and routes around Akoko Edo, a region that has experienced a spike in kidnapping incidents in recent days. Police urges locals to remain vigilant and report suspicious movements to expedite the rescue. In response to a wave of recent abductions, community leaders and traditional authorities in Igarra have imposed a strict 9-hour nightly curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. and restricted night events such as dances and burial ceremonies, aiming to curb further kidnappings and restore public safety. The measures were announced after residents reported multiple abduction cases in the area, including the high-profile kidnapping of youth leader's wife. The decision was taken at a joint meeting involving the local government chairman, the police, and Igarra's traditional ruler, Oba Adeche Saiki, who expressed alarm over the frequency of violent criminal acts. Obasaiki warned that suspected criminals might be living among community members and exploiting night movement to carry out abductions. Reports indicate that the abduction of Okuwo's wife came shortly after 7 indigenes of Imoga community were released by kidnappers following a ransom payment, signaling an apparent resurgence of kidnappings in Akoko Edo. An earlier kidnapping of a young girl in another part of Igarra is believed to remain unresolved. The curfew and activity restrictions covering the entire local government area are intended to reduce opportunities for criminals to operate at night and support ongoing security operations. Police have pledged to enforce the curfew while continuing search and rescue missions to recover the abducted victims safely. And that's all we have on Edo State News on the Papyrus Global TV. My name is Christiana Babayo. Thanks for joining us.